We have another NHL trade to discuss. Tyler Toffoli is on his way to Vancouver. We'll get into the details of the trade and give you my thoughts coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. We have some more breaking news from the NHL. We have yet another trade taking place. Another player who is near the top of the NHL trade bait board for the last number of months is finally on the moves. The Los Angeles Kings have traded pending unrestricted free agent forward Tyler Toffoli to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, the Canucks gave up a pretty decent package going to LA in return. They get a roster player in the form of Tim Schaller, who's 29 years old. He's a pending unrestricted free agent. Of course, there was no retention of salary by LA on Toffoli's contract either, by the way. Of course, taking the Schaller contract kind of offsets any potential issues that way to make the money work. They also received a fairly highly touted prospect in Tyler Madden, who's having an exceptional second year at Northeastern University. He's a 2018 third-round selection. Madden has a lot of offensive skills, expected to likely be a pretty solid offensive threat at the NHL level once he signs and turns pro. And they also receive a second-round selection. So a pretty good haul for LA for Toffoli, who's a pending UFA, likely wasn't returning, certainly not part of the rebuild plans with the Los Angeles Kings. The expected return for some time for the Kings on Toffoli was likely going to be a second-round pick and a pretty decent prospect. That's basically what they got. They're basically taking the Schaller contract for the remainder of the year to make the money work. So, of course, Vancouver now really bulks up here and adds another solid forward. Of course, he'll be reunited with former teammate Tanner Pearson. Of course, Toffoli and Pearson both had a lot of success together with the Kings. Some Stanley Cup championships there. So, clearly, some familiarity in the dressing room already for Tyler Toffoli. I think he'll fit in nicely with Vancouver. They're already having a pretty solid year. They have a pretty good group of young core forwards there that he can play with. He's been really playing well as of late as well, so that's certainly really ramped up the interest in acquiring Toffoli. The Canucks were not a team that's really been mentioned until very, very recently as showing some interest in Toffoli. Lots of other teams were inquiring and having conversations about making the acquisition, and the Canucks have kind of swooped in here and beat them to it. Clearly, their goal is to get into the playoffs and finish high, and if not win that Pacific Division. And now Jim Benning has struck a deal to kind of help make sure that's more of a reality for the current season. Another big domino falls on the NHL trade market. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this trade. Did the LA Kings get a good haul in return? Did the Vancouver Canucks give up too much here? Clearly, Tyler Madden's a pretty solid prospect. Another high pick goes out the door, but the Canucks are pretty well stocked with lots of young talent. I think they're probably in a pretty good position here to be able to afford to make this happen. They better hope that Toffoli works out, though, because they could cost them longer term. I do think Madden's got a lot of potential in the long term here at the NHL level. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and we'll continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content. We'll keep you all up to date with the NHL Trade Deadline 2020 version coming up here on February the 24th. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.